The battle for the SEC Cup coming your way here on AAU Plus and YouTube. I'm Alex Wiederspiel, and welcome in for a good one. Tennessee and South Carolina split the season series, and now the rubber match is headed your way. We got a chance to catch up with both head coaches today. South Carolina's Alan Serrois has led the Gamecocks to this point. They're a 4 seed in the SEC, but they were ranked one of the top teams in the country and have a very good chance at making the regional tournament, even if they do not win this game today. Ahead of puck drop, we're joined by South Carolina Gamecocks head coach Alan Serrois. And Coach, obviously you guys played a tremendous couple of games to get here. The third period against Georgia, a little bit shaky yesterday, and you mentioned when we talked after the game, there was a lesson you guys could learn from that in victory. Do you want to talk a little bit about what that message was to the locker room?
Pretty much same things I said yesterday. It's a lesson learned in a win, which is great. But now we know that we just can't stop. All these teams are very good. If you just pause just for a few minutes, it happened to us in 3 goals in 5 minutes. So you just can't do it. You just got to play 60, and we're trying to prepare ourselves for regionals next week, which you're going to have to play 60 against those teams because it's going to be very great competition. So today, 60 minutes all day. If we play our game, I think we'll have no issues. Do you have to make any major adjustments? Does Tennessee play differently than Georgia at all in a way that would make you say we got to make some changes, or is it generally play our game and we'll be all right? Pretty much. Their power play is different in Georgia, so that's a little adjustment that we did there on our penalty kill. Other than that, it's just play our game. When we track people down, finish the body, and we'll be just fine. And Coach, talk about your netminder. I know he let in maybe one shaky one yesterday in the third, but he also faced probably more rubber in the third period than he did in the entire tournament, it felt like, and he still stood pretty strong. Talk just a little bit about Tyler Camoin and what he has meant to your program. He's a big-time game. He's a gamer, I call him. He made two saves on number 13 on the breakaway. Number 13 is Bailey, is their best player at key moments, which we really needed. So whenever we need him, he's there. So those 3 goals weren't on him at all. It was us. We really paused. We froze. It's like we weren't playing anymore. I just told the guys on the bench, I says, you guys are the same people 20 minutes ago. It's the same group. So just come back doing your stuff. And, and Timo's, he saved us. He saved us really at the time that we needed him. Very good, Coach. Good luck for this game, and we'll talk with you maybe after the game. Okay, thank you. Tennessee's Drew King has led the Volunteers to this point. They had to take down a pesky Ole Miss team en route to get to this point. The number 1 seed, led by some big-time scorers like Mitchell Spranklin, among others. In fact, it was third-line center Tommy Carroll who was an unlikely hero in yesterday's game. Let's hear from Coach Way now, or Coach King now, excuse me. Championship game, and Coach, you guys have worked really hard to get here. Obviously earned the number 1 seed in this tournament, but certainly a difficult opponent today. That 4 seed probably a little deceptive about South Carolina. I believe you guys split the season series, if I had my numbers correct. So take me through when you guys played, what you saw on the ice and how you expect that to carry over today. Yeah, absolutely. We played them in Knoxville in November for 2 games. Split, very even series. They got the better of us on the second game. I think it was 5-1. So definitely looking for revenge from that game. We're very familiar with this team. They're familiar with us. It's a great rivalry that we have. We got to cover Riggins for sure, and Tamoyan is really good down low, so we'll try and make life difficult for him. Do you want to talk a little bit about yesterday's game and the win over Ole Miss? It's funny. I feel like every tournament there's one team that becomes a problem for everybody, and Ole Miss decided to be that team. Obviously, they were a huge problem for Auburn, knocking out some of the top scorers in the conference. And for a little while yesterday, it looked like Mugler was going to perform another magic act for Ole Miss, despite how much time they've missed due to snow and ice and not being able to practice. You guys were able to overcome some of that adversity. What's it like on the bench when you're feeling like we should be winning, but we're not? And then how do you handle that as a coach? Yeah, 100%. It's definitely very frustrating when a team is shutting you down like that, and you know that you should be doing much better. But at the same time, all credit to Ole Miss. They came out this weekend with
fire under their butts, and they performed very well. Goalie stood on his head, made a few huge saves. Definitely very good down low. Point of emphasis for us today is to, maybe lift the pucks a little bit, but make life difficult for the goaltender is definitely our biggest goal today. Ole Miss, all credit to them. Like I said, they had a great season. Obviously, with the weather, we were impacted as well. We missed 2 weekends, so it was a great game. All respect to them, like I said.
Do you feel like towards the end of that game you started to see more of what you were expecting from your group?
Yes, our first period was definitely lackluster, but we just kept grinding away. It's definitely frustrating when they stymie you like that, and we just kept fighting through, kept getting shots on, and traffic in front.
One last question. Tommy Carroll got his, if I had this correctly, just his 3rd goal in 18 games, but that felt like a really big moment, almost a turning point in the game for you guys. Just a greasy, grinded-out goal for a guy who doesn't get a lot of those. I know they don't always get the most love on these broadcasts, but talk a little bit about what that goal meant, what Tommy meant, and what those guys at the bottom of the lineup mean for you.
Yeah, 100%. As our third-line center, he's one of the most critical pieces in our lineup. His performance, decides which line matchups we want to take, and he had a great game yesterday and was rewarded with a goal. So he's just a grinding player, and I love the way he plays. So I'm very happy for him to get his 3rd goal. He should have a few more for sure, but there's always next year.
Coach, I appreciate it. Officially underway here. We just had puck drop here. We thank Drew King and Alan Surwa for giving us some time pregame to chat. Of course, those interviews just a little bit before we did starting lineups, and very, very helpful. Tennessee and South Carolina starting lineups are out. Putting one behind the net there, and the Volunteers going to work here as Matt Pavic sent that one on net and didn't get there. Volunteers going to ice this one. South Carolina will get there with ease. We'll get our first line change for the Gamecocks. Tennessee's going to be forced to keep some of those guys out there. A little bit of a different look today. If you look at the pairings for the Tennessee defensive pairings, looks like they are running Finn DiStefano and Tyler Rose together. South Carolina's lineup is mostly unchanged, though they did sub in 2 players on the lower ends of the lineup. Seamus Murphy is back in, and Angelo Cascignano, a defenseman, is back in. I believe Cascignano is going to be the extra skater. Big hit already thrown right in front of the Tennessee bench. Welcome back in, everybody. Alex Wiederspiel here with you on AAU Plus and on YouTube. We appreciate however it is you're joining us today for this one. SEC Championship battle for the SEC Cup. Tennessee and South Carolina. The Gamecocks were dominant through 5 periods of this tournament. And we're going to get what looks to be no icing here. That was redirected. But the Gamecocks were dominant through 5 periods. They led 9-0 cumulatively over 9 periods. We have a shot redirected into the corner and then a big hit thrown from South Carolina. But up 9-0. Then Georgia went to work. This one fired wide through traffic. I'm not sure that the goaltender Tomoyan could see it. Tyler Tomoyan has been dynamite in this tournament, and he did not allow a goal until the 3rd period of game number 2 against Georgia in the semifinals. And the number 2 seed Bulldogs put 3 goals on him in a span of 6.5 minutes, and then South Carolina was able to take care of business the rest of the way, hold on, and pick up a 5-3 win. Not without some controversy, and nearly put one in. Green stops one point blank. Big save from the young man Patrick Green for Tennessee, who played well in the win over Ole Miss yesterday, allowing just 2 goals, as Tennessee, similar to Ole Miss, dealt with some issues with getting practices in as a result of the Arctic freeze that much of the eastern seaboard, deep south, and Atlantic region has gone through. So they started to get their legs a little bit in the 3rd period as South Carolina works this one up the ice. Tipped into the zone. That one might have actually hit the referee. Working from the corner, Tennessee going to send this one out early on. Not a lot in the realm of high danger chances, though now the Volunteers entering with some speed. That shot might have hit the stick of the defenseman and wide. Volunteers got a big goal from their 3rd-line center, Tommy Carroll, yesterday. South Carolina, a lot of their big guys went to work, including Carson Scove, who scored a goal yesterday playing on the top line. He also took a couple of minor penalties. Von Suken played really well for the Gamecocks on defense. This shot wide, coming in off the rush as they entered the zone. Still scoreless here early on, first minutes. And at this point, I believe every line and pair has seen their time. As going back to retrieve this one is one of Tennessee's best defensemen, James Getz. Back and forth behind the red line. And Tennessee trying to work this one out. Referee caught in the crossfire there. Kai Bonsukin across. Then another pass up too far out of the neutral zone. And kind of trading it back and forth right now are the Volunteers and the Gamecocks. Pass to center ice was hard to handle. Try and send up a stretch pass right to the corner of the blue line. Gorgeous little drop pass opportunity. That one hit the side of the net. Going to try one more time and wanted to hit a player in the slot. That was Tyler Isles, and Isles is a really talented player. And boy, with his speed, he nearly created for the Volunteers. South Carolina working this one up the ice. Gamecocks. It's Carson Scove who was stripped of the puck. They are able to maintain possession at the blue line. This is Bonsuken down below the red line. Kai Bonsuken was strong yesterday running the power play for South Carolina. And again, the Gamecocks had looked like the most dominant team as we've got a pass seam through the slot. And that one doesn't connect. Back again, trying to hit right in front of the crease. Nobody home for South Carolina. Back to the point. Opportunity for Aiden Dunphy. Scored a big power play goal yesterday for the Gamecocks. Gave them a 2-0 lead in the first period. South Carolina dominant through 40. And the second period in particular, they really took it to Georgia. And the Bulldogs woke up. And in fact, it looked for a moment like Georgia was about to get on a power play down. They, in fact, did get on a power play down by 1 after having scored 3 unanswered. Didn't convert. South Carolina's penalty kill came up huge as we see a turnover forced here by Brendan Flaherty, one of the alternate captains. Flaherty carrying in, crosses into the zone, fires one, and from a not great angle, Flaherty has the first goal of the game. That one fooled Patrick Green. It is 1-0 South Carolina. The Gamecocks open the championship scoring, and much like they have this entire tournament and much of this season, they're going to play with a lead. We're going to get a look at that replay here in a second here. You can see this is, again, he is to the outside of the dot there, almost 90 degrees, and this has become a more popular shot in hockey. I don't know that it's one we expected to see at the ACH level, but as we saw yesterday, and there are a couple of really skilled guys who are going to play in the ACC Elite Tournament coming up at 2 o'clock today. There are some really skilled guys at this level as well, and to try and make that shot work, very impressive. Again, that's something that NHL players are trying more and more because there is a little bit of space with that angle, but I'm sure Green probably would have preferred to get that one back, but it's a bit of a surprise shot, and South Carolina leads by 1 here over Tennessee. So how will the Volunteers respond to turnover in the neutral zone? South Carolina, another opportunity developing. Shot was blocked. It was Nico Tashawn who couldn't quite get there. Tashawn had a big day as well yesterday. South Carolina really spreads out their scoring talent. They've got 3 lines who could put the puck in. This one's sent over to the half wall for the Gamecocks. Redirection does not get on net. Now behind. Back at the half wall, Dunphy's pass didn't connect with anybody. Gamecocks still putting a bit of pressure on, but Tennessee's going to be able to break this one out of the zone, flip it down, and get the much-needed line change. So the Volunteers now have a chance to respond. We'll see again how long it takes them to kind of get their legs under them. They haven't played as much hockey as South Carolina because they earned a bye, and considering some of the troubles they've had with getting games in and practicing, that might not have necessarily been a reward. You might have preferred that extra game. On the other hand, go talk to Auburn, who would have probably thought that they would have preferred playing that extra game, and of course were not rewarded. Ole Miss, the low seed in the entire tournament. Took him down in an upset special. This one is cleared down. Gamecocks going to apply some pressure here into the corner. Haven't yet been able to corral the puck. Tennessee doing a nice job playing with it deep, but playing with a little bit of fire here as this South Carolina forecheck is going to lead to the net coming off the mooring. Looked like two players ran into the net there. So 12:02 remaining here in period number 1. South Carolina on top 1-0 here. So Brandon Flaherty's goal has opened the scoring here for the Gamecocks as we have an icing call here almost immediately off the faceoff, and this will bring us all the way back down to the Tennessee side. And it's been a struggle early on here for Drew King's Volunteers. They just having a hard time exiting the zone cleanly, and they're not handling the puck poorly. Haven't seen a ton of turnovers underneath by that South Carolina forecheck, but enough pressure to make passes worse as this one back to the blue line. Puck came all the way down after a redirection into the corner. Back up to the half wall. Now the Volunteers see if they can exit the other way. Not very cleanly as a hit gets thrown and lost the puck. Volunteers sending this one back down. This is likely going to be no icing. They waved this one off. As the Gamecocks go back to retrieve, now exiting with some speed here. This is Ben Riccatelli sending that one in, then going for a change. Into the corner. Seamus Murphy, who's in today, was not in yesterday, trying to create some havoc. He played against Alabama, though. Or checking well, but Tennessee able to get this one out. Lands on the stick of Matteo Marchese. Applying pressure, that was Enzo Finelli. Puck comes loose, and behind the net again, it was Carson Scove who sent that one back behind the red line. Scove scored a goal yesterday for South Carolina. Gamecocks beat Georgia 5-3 en route here. And we get one of Tennessee's, I think just their second shot of the day, and Tomoyan was game for that one. Another opportunity developing down low, and in tight pad save. Another one, and Tennessee went to work, and they're going to tie this game with 10 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the first. Tommy Carroll again. How about that? He drew a bunch of praise from his head coach for all the hard work he does. Got rewarded with a goal yesterday. Said he was deserving of another one. And he gets one. Great job going back down below the red line to retrieve that puck. That was William Herblert. And Carroll finishes the job. So we're even at one apiece in the SEC championship game. South Carolina likely going to use an at-large bid to regionals, even if they were to lose this game. Highly ranked team. Seems like they're relatively safe. Tennessee might need the auto bid, though we will see. Certainly, had they been able to play more this season, they had a pretty big stretch, about a 2.5 week stretch without any games as a result of weather in really the entire Deep South. As a Tennessee player got spun around, no call. Back the other way, opportunity developing for the Volunteers off the rush. Not a lot of space from South Carolina. Great pass through the slot, terrific move, and no call there. Player went down. That was Connor Frazier. Volunteers, though, still with the puck, firing one on through traffic. One save at least made by Tomoyan there. South Carolina trying to exit the zone, and now Tennessee starting to get their legs under them a little bit. Back-to-back very good shifts in the offensive zone. From a bad angle. Shot, don't think that one was requiring of a save by Green. A tie-up in the corner. And Tennessee able to get this one away. And now you can see the Volunteer breakouts just a smidge better than they were earlier. And that little adjustment has made all the difference. They're playing with just a little bit more pace. South Carolina going to send deep, giving chase. That's Dunphy. He couldn't quite corral the puck. Now Tennessee goes the other way. Stick in, does not make a difference there. Firing this one up, far side of the ice. Working there was Frazier. Frazier's pass left for a Volunteer. Didn't wind up connecting. No shot. South Carolina back the other way, up the near side on the rush, sending behind the net, and nothing got through there. That might have actually been designed as a shot, but went behind the red line. Gamecocks get a puck on it, little stick check at center ice, but cannot then corral and enter the zone with possession, and we're going to get a whistle here for a stoppage. I think that puck might have touched a stick on the bench, leading to the stoppage. That will lead us to our first media timeout, though. A response from Drew King's Volunteers. Fell behind early. Now it's 1-1 here in the battle for the SEC Cup on AAU+. Back in a moment.
Greetings from Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida. Around here, something special is always brewing. Tap into our thriving beer scene and hit the ale trail to enjoy craft beers from over 25 local breweries. So hop on by, pull up a chair, and raise a glass to the flip side. On the flip side, anything is possible, except running out of delicious beer. Learn more at visitjacksonville.com.
On the flip side, we're always cooking up something good. Sink your teeth into Jack's.
The surf's up on the flip side. Wave hello to Jack's.
Brendan Flaherty scored the first one for South Carolina from a bad angle, and Tennessee responded minutes later. They started to pick up their game a little bit. Tommy Carroll scores his second in as many days. Carroll may be a bottom six center, knows that he has to play the greasy game, the hard-working game, but every now and then he can park himself in front of the net and do exactly what he did there and pot a goal or two. Tennessee wins the faceoff and fires into the corner. South Carolina, this one up to Colin Reed, now to the far side of the ice. Gamecocks in their base black and red jerseys today. Tennessee base white with orange numbers and trim. Riccatelli sends down underneath the goal line. Volunteer comes up with it, though has to spin back. Puck comes free to Henry Cohen. He had a nice day yesterday. Gamecocks have played a lot of dump and chase here early on. Haven't really attempted to enter the zone with speed all that often. But one time they did, got a goal out of it. Wonder how much of that is an adjustment by Tennessee to play at the blue line. We'll see as this period continues to develop, but Volunteers have done a pretty good job getting pucks back here below the goal line. Their issue has been, more often than not, how cleanly are they able to exit. Slowing down the rush there, and that'll allow the Gamecocks to get back as a five-man unit. Tennessee maintaining possession, now below the goal line. Little low to high. Shot on that one went too high behind the net. Was, I believe, Jack Ani. His jersey's tucked a little bit. Yeah, it was Ani, and then a shot on and an easy save. At least one he made look easy for Tomoyan, and he made sure there was no extra attempt at that one. So South Carolina, who kind of owned the early possession, has all of a sudden, don't believe they've had an actual shot on goal now, going back in about 7 minutes since the goal. Meanwhile, Tennessee has taken a shot counter lead, extended up to 9-2. Face-off won by the Volunteers and then immediately knocked out of play. So we'll basically just do this all again. Looks like Kieran Crossan, in for LaGreca. Taking that face-off. He'll do it a second time. South Carolina will win it. Brendan Flaherty working behind his own net. Didn't get that pass away cleanly, and Tennessee's able to create a turnover and score in the slot. Hard-working goal, Kyle Stober, and it's the name of the game. Turnover down low and a quick pass to the high-danger spot. Tennessee had really switched the momentum here after that first South Carolina goal. As you can see, Alan Sirwan, his coaching staff. That one beats the glove hand of the netminder, Tamoyan. So 2-1, 5:58 to go here in the first. That was the 10th shot of the period. And we may not have a good goal. I did not see on the replay what would have potentially caused that. But they are talking, let's see. They are going and talking with Drew King. So I'm not sure what this would necessarily be about. I don't know if you want to bring that replay up one more time, Levi. It's the only thing I can think of here. I'm going to look and see if any referee had a hand up. Such a quick play, really bang, bang. Good turnover force there. Then the pass. And it all happened off the face-off. So I have one thought. I'm not sure. I wasn't told that Kieran Crossan was dressing today. Number 2. And he was the winner of the face-off there, but they are going to look at the replay here. No, they're not looking at the replay at all. They are talking with the tournament director. Now, keep in mind, just because I'm not told something doesn't mean anything. I would be remiss if I attempted to claim I was ultimate authority on anything as it relates to this tournament. But it is noteworthy that this conversation is occurring. The player on the ice who I thought was scratched wouldn't have been the first time that mistake had been made this weekend or last weekend. So let's find out exactly what's going on. So we're trying to get confirmation here. So it sounds like this is going to lead to a penalty call, but the question will be, can he still play and will the goal stand? But they are talking about this now. It's worth noting, Tennessee, when I talked with Coach Drew King, he had mentioned that they were taking a player out. He just didn't mention who they were putting back in. This is always difficult because you have to consult rules that don't always get a lot of attention. We might have word here in a moment. All right, so we have received confirmation that the issue is indeed tied to number 2, Kieran Crossan. So he obviously took that face-off that led to that goal for Tennessee. What they are checking, we are quite certain this is going to be a 2-minute power play coming for South Carolina. What they are now checking is whether or not the goal can stand. Now, I don't know enough about this section of the rule book. And keep in mind, we're alone up here today. This is not an NHL broadcast. I mentioned it yesterday kind of in jest, but it really would be not a bad idea to eventually find a way to get an officiating expert on one of these broadcasts, because they're hockey in particular. I mean, all sports, the rules can get really, really in-depth, but hockey in particular, there's really no question about it. It's one of the most difficult sports to officiate. So what they're trying to determine now, I imagine, is one, can the player continue to play, even though he must not have been inserted into the lineup card? And again, I was not informed that he was playing. I had him scratched yesterday, and I knew that there was an additional scratch today, but I wasn't told who was coming in. So this sounds mostly like, if anything, it might be kind of a clerical error, but we should have an explanation coming up soon. All right, so we have just received word. So the player is going to be ejected. The goal will not count. And he will serve a 2-minute bench minor. That I can definitively say this is a first for me. And we have had a couple of folks say in our ear who have been around the game a lot longer than I am, this is a first for them as well. Who said there wasn't going to be drama today? SEC Cup, SEC Championship game, Tennessee, South Carolina, here in the ACHA, AAU+, YouTube, however it is you're joining us today. Tennessee had started really taking control of this period. And now, after an exceptionally lengthy break, they're going to have to wipe this out. And it looks like they're going to send Matt Pavic to serve the bench minor. This is, I can say definitively, a first for me as well. Another player is headed to the room. I'm not 100% sure what the reason is. Stanley Bright is now also headed to the room for Tennessee. So all of a sudden, the Volunteers are right now down 3 skaters. 1 in the box, 2 in the room. So South Carolina goes on the power play. They scored yesterday in the first period on the power play after a lengthy break. We will resume here underneath, back out to the dot, and whiffed on the shot. Have to retrieve that after the miss. That was Carson Scove. This is flipped all the way down. And a chase for the puck ensuing here. Excellent pickup for South Carolina there. Kai Bonsukin showing his magnetic ability as he had a player right on him. Here's Jake Pushkar. South Carolina goes to work. They're forechecking here on this power play. Puck comes all the way out to Bonsukin at the point. Bonsukin quarterbacking this power play. Little flip pass Now down underneath the red line. There was maybe a shot on there. Wasn't a dangerous one. There was really no angle. Back to the point, firing one on through traffic. That one took a bounce, redirected, but didn't get on net. Back to the blue line one more time, and Green didn't glove it, and then the shot while he was out of the net was wide. Oh man, Bonsukin had a chance there. As this will finally be cleared by Tennessee. Or correction there, Bonsukin fired the initial shot that he tried to glove. And then pulled Green out of the net. Green has not faced a lot of rubber here in this first period. South Carolina being outshot 10-3. But now Tennessee down a couple of skaters. Well, again, we'll keep an eye. I'm not sure. One player went to the room, and I'm not sure why. Into the corner. This is Deshaun down beneath the red line. We're down to 14 seconds here on the power play. Pavic serving it. From the dot, that one didn't go. Back to the point. D-to-D passing and swallowed up. Put a soft one on net, trying to get a rebound, and Green made a terrific play there. 1 second left on the power play. So Tennessee has nearly done the job of clearing this first very difficult hurdle. Gamecocks win the faceoff. Pavic will come out. Quick shot on, saved by Green. And Tennessee will be able to clear. This one got past Dunphy. Opportunity developing in the slot. Pass went off the pad from Connor Frazier. South Carolina, quick shot off the rush, goes wide. Dunphy trying to get to it. He couldn't get there. Good play at the blue line. Opportunity shot on. Green made the save. Didn't cover up the rebound, though, off the Deshaun shot. But good effort by Tennessee to get it out, and then the turnover neutral zone. Gamecocks the other way, and this puck still able to stay in, but good stick there from the defender, DiStefano. Make sure that shot went nowhere near the net. This one back out to Dunphy at the point. Dunphy's shot went off the skate of a Volunteer player. Little pass through the slot. That one will not go. Intended for Matthew Winkleback. And this sent all the way down. This one fired on net, so it sounds like Stanley Bright was also not on the roster and went to the locker room as well. I'm actually a little surprised they only had to serve one bench minor for that, if it happened twice, but all right, nonetheless, we continue on. Volunteers lose this out of the zone, and South Carolina's Seamus Murphy sent it deep. Tennessee, nice job to get this one out. William Herblert couldn't quite get it out of the zone, though. Got it out from the red line, and now South Carolina working down low in the corner. Trying to get this low to high, and they're able to do that. Shot through traffic. That one doesn't get through the traffic. Puck squirts free. In the slot, opportunity couldn't be iced cleanly by David DuBois. South Carolina still with possession here, though. John Riggins around the net, and we're going to get a change here. One player in, one player off. Working in, down low, below the goal line. Right in front, puck was loose, and there was no shot. It ultimately gets cleared away for an icing. Dangerous play in the crease. I don't know if we can see that one again. I don't think there's actually a shot on this play, but the puck is essentially dead in the crease, and it was going to be whoever got to it first. .115 to go here in the first period. Puck again loose in the crease, trying to smash this one in. It won't go. Big opportunity from Ben Riccatelli there, who the initial shot from the point. Another one that doesn't get through. This one rolls through the crease. Back out for South Carolina. Here's Riccatelli again. Nice move as Riccatelli creates some space for himself, fires one from distance. Green made the save but didn't cover. Tennessee, though, good support there, and we're down into the final minute here of the first period. Here's Reed for South Carolina with some speed. Back out to the blue line, little low to high play. Shot wide from the blue line. South Carolina recovers in the neutral zone, and I don't think there's any surprise here. The Gamecocks have looked to have a little bit better of the rate of play since the stoppage, then the ejection of 2 players for a bench minor. But how about this? Opportunity with numbers for Tennessee, and the shot is gloved by Tamoyan. Tamoyan hadn't been tested in a little while, and then Kyle Stober, an impressive senior winger, forces him to come up big. He swallowed it and came out and cut off the angle as well. 10 seconds remaining here in the first period of action in the SEC championship game. Offensive zone faceoff for the Volunteers, tied at 1. South Carolina won the faceoff, and looks like they're going to be able to ice this thing down to 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Good effort using his body to shield. That was Scove at the very end there. And South Carolina and Tennessee will head to the locker room tied at 1, but under exceptionally strange circumstances that I can tell you many of us here have not quite seen before. 2 players ejected for not being on the roster. That takes us to our first intermission, and we'll be back right after this on AAU Plus with the battle for the SEC Cup. More analysis and interviews coming up.
Greetings from Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida. Around here, something special is always brewing. Tap into our thriving beer scene and hit the ale trail to enjoy craft beers from over 25 local breweries. So hop on by, pull up a chair, and raise a glass to the flip side. On the flip side, anything is possible, except running out of delicious beer. Learn more at visitjacksonville.com.
Joined now by South Carolina head coach Alan Surwa. And Coach, interesting period there. You guys got off to a bit of a hot start, and then Tennessee started to turn the tide a little bit. And then obviously the stoppage, the ejection of 2 players seemed to turn the tide again a little bit. Back and forth first period.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange period altogether. I didn't like the pause there in the middle because we're kind of rolling a little bit. But it's not our best. We definitely got better than that. But, 1-1 after. So we started shooting finally because we only had 2 shots with the first 15 minutes. So started shooting a little bit more. We need to put more traffic in front of green. And I feel like the second period would be a lot better.
Very good. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
That is Coach Alan Surwa, the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks. It is 1-1 here in the first intermission. We're going to step aside and come back with some more analysis shortly on AAU Plus.
On the flip side, you can always hit the beach.
1-1 here in the battle for the SEC Cup. Tennessee and South Carolina. Winner earns an automatic bid into the regional coming up. And South Carolina may very well earn an at-large even if they lose this game. But you never want to put that to test here. There aren't that many at-large spots available. South Carolina and Tennessee tied at 1. How did we get here? It was the Gamecocks who opened the scoring in this one as Brandon Flaherty fired one from a not great angle, almost at the goal line. And you can see on the replay here, he is, I would say, about halfway between, if not more than halfway between the dot and the goal line when he fires that one. That makes it 1-0. Tennessee, hard-working goal here, forces a turnover, and Tommy Carroll gets his second goal in as many days. A guy who had only had 2 goals all season coming into this tournament. He's got 2 goals in this tournament. So Tommy Carroll ties it at 1. And then the strangeness occurs. One of maybe the oddest things I've ever seen broadcasting sports at any level. This goal here is not what's so strange. It's what happened after the fact. So this was a goal that looked good for Kyle Stober, as Tennessee's Drew King would later find out there were 2 players, including one who made a play on this goal, who were not eligible to play in this game. Now, I have number 2 on my roster as Kieran Crossen. You can see him going to the dressing room. Kieran Crossen. I was told yesterday he was scratched. Today, I was told that Grant LaGreca was coming out, but I wasn't told who was coming back in. When I saw Crossen out there, I thought maybe that was the guy coming back in for LaGreca. Then, as it turns out, we now know why Stanley Bright, who played yesterday, the freshman forward, played yesterday, why he was sent off. He also was not listed as on the roster today. So 2 volunteer players not on the roster for this one. Crossen is a freshman. Bright is a freshman. I wonder if it's possible that that has something to do with it. I don't know for sure. They haven't played, from what I can tell, they have not played a ton this year. Stanley Bright had only played 3 games all season, according to the ACHA's website, which is not the final authority because it doesn't record every game, like if they play outside of the ACHA for any reason. And then Crossen had played 1 game. So it is possible, because of their status as freshmen, that they weren't playing regularly. This is a strange turn of events, though. One of the weirdest turn, and I won't pretend otherwise, because when I saw him out there, I was like, wait, don't I have this guy X'd off on my own roster? So here we go. Here we are, 1-1. We'll take one final break here, come back, and when we return, it's the start of the second period here. A shorthanded Tennessee team now will battle with South Carolina for the second period in our 3-act stanza.
Welcome to Jacksonville, or as we like to call it, Jax. As Florida's youngest city, Jacksonville is the destination that you'll leave feeling refreshed. Here, you'll experience a different kind of Florida, one that's rich with arts, culture, and history, exciting outdoor adventures, thrilling sporting events, and a mouth-watering dining scene, all at a more laid-back pace. If you love the outdoors, you've come to the right place. Here you can soak in vitamin D and fresh air while exploring our relaxing beaches, local and national parks, and breathtaking waterways. Stroll on 22 miles of white sand beaches. Test your balance on a surfboard or paddleboard. Take the kayak out, reel in a fresh catch, or cruise around in the water taxi, admiring the picturesque views from the St. Johns River. When you've had enough fun in the sun, stop by any of our local restaurants or breweries to get a true taste of Jax. Our local chefs take farm to table very seriously, sourcing local and fresh ingredients to create menus that are iconic to Jax, like Mayport shrimp, caught fresh off our coast daily and prepared differently on menus throughout the city. Wash it all down with a pint of local craft beer from one of 20-plus stops along the Jax Ale Trail. As a melting pot of many diverse cultures and races, Jacksonville is proud of its vast heritage, dating back over 6,000 years. Visit historical areas, tour world-class museums, and take in the thriving performance art scene. Immerse yourself in our culture by exploring more than a dozen neighborhoods that make up Jax. each with a unique vibe, colorful public art, exciting festivals and markets, and talented makers. Jax has just what you need to fuel your fandom. With 6 professional sports teams, numerous surfing and fishing competitions, world-renowned running races, and 2 signature college football games, there's year-round sports excitement to fuel your competitive juices. Do what you love or try something new. Head to visitjacksonville.com to learn more.
As Alan Serwa pointed out during our first period interview, or first intermission interview, I should say, South Carolina's got to play a little better. They had some moments in that first that probably as a team they're not thrilled with. But they opened the scoring and then kind of let up on the gas a little bit. Tennessee adjusted, then the bizarre ejection situation, and now it is again 1-1, so obviously the goal did not count. They switched sides of the ice, and South Carolina has been given a real opportunity here to find their game. You look back, the last 40 minutes of hockey for South Carolina probably have been their worst in a little while. They have won 3 games in a row coming into this one, including the win over, 4 games in a row coming into this one, including the win over Georgia. But the third period against Georgia started to look just a little off for the Gamecocks. And the first period here today didn't look great at times. They were outshot 11-9, though they really started to pick up the pace of things, outshooting Tennessee 7-1 after the stoppage. Of course, we were stopped for a significant period as a result of the DQ and double ejection, and we're officially back underway now for the second period. See what South Carolina can do here. Flaherty, who has the goal, working on the rush. Flaherty tries the pass through the slot. That one is a little bit behind his intended target, so back the other way. No icing here as this one was sent deep. Turnover underneath the goal line. Tennessee forcing that one was Connor Frazier, not able to keep it in, though, for an opportunity. And then South Carolina with some speed. Opportunity developing. Power move. Tries to stuff it in, and it does go through and find a hole through green. It only took 41 seconds, but the Gamecocks retake the lead. Colin Reed entered the zone with speed, had a man, and decided to power his way to the net himself. So you can see here, this is from behind the net, and I think we're going to get an official review coming up here. We'll try to see it from a different angle if we can, but possible offside here. So the officials have had to use the replay ability a fair few times in this tournament, and certainly in this game as well. If this stands, obviously a good goal for South Carolina. I like this challenge, though, for Drew King, in part, as they already have a decision, and that is a goal. I liked the challenge, though, because it gives you essentially a free timeout here. You get a chance to talk things over with your team as they came out of the room, maybe not looking fully ready. So that was a loose puck, and you can see here as Reed enters the zone with possession, holding the line. For South Carolina, though that goal will count. All right, we're back underway. Lucas Van Mullen sent this one up. Carson Skov had a chance at it. Back below the goal line. Now this puck squirts out, and Tennessee will be able to head up. with a little bit of speed, dumping this one into the zone. Giving chase is Kyle Stober, who had the goal that was turned over for Tennessee. South Carolina flips this one back out for the Volunteer defensive pairing. DeStefano playing today with Rose. This one sent deep and played by Tamoyan. Scove sends this one up, and it hit the official right in front of the Tennessee bench. Little beneficial bounce there for the Volunteers. Flipped into the zone. South Carolina flips it back out to the neutral zone. And Rose sends this one up. Right now, after that goal, just no real flow to this as they're back and forth, chipping it out. Little territorial Cold War going on here. This one flipped deep and giving chase was Scove. South Carolina going to exit here with possession and then send deep was Ben Riccatelli. That'll allow the Gamecocks to get a change as the puck goes out of play. This is the period of the long change, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Take a little bit longer for players to get back to the bench. You got to be careful about any ill-begotten changes. South Carolina's Jake Pushkar is going to take the face-off here. We got a chance to catch up with him yesterday after the South Carolina game. Captain of this Gamecocks team. You know, he was happy with the way they played early in that one. Opportunity in front, and looked like Green made the initial save. Puck came back, and off the rebound, South Carolina makes it 3-1. 2 goals in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. South Carolina has taken over the early stages of this second period. Carson Stickley. And again, trying to keep an eye on these Tennessee lines, how they might look a little bit different. You can see this here, the little power move, first shot, puck squirted back out, and then Stickley really, it's hard to even call it a full-on shot. It's basically him sweeping for the puck. So you can see it flip up into the air, and just enough on it. And Green doesn't really play it, and he'll cover this one up here. He didn't play it all that well, but it's tough when the puck changes directions like that. Again, slow or fast, netminders have a hard time with it. So part of the old mantra, of course, go to the net, good things happen, and South Carolina did exactly that. Pushkar will take the faceoff once again for South Carolina. So again, mentioned Tennessee down 2 forwards. I'll be curious to see how this changes up the lines at all. Bright yesterday anchored the second line for Tennessee, and he's now out of the game. Crossan did not play yesterday. And this one chipped up. Tennessee with an opportunity. Shot doesn't get through. South Carolina, nice job on the block, but we are going to get a penalty coming against the Gamecocks. Interference call against South Carolina. And sounds like Jake Pushkar is who they're getting. Correction, David DuBois is who they're getting. He did not like that call at all. I don't know anyone who ever does like the call. No one's like, you're right. Let me go. And you can see the play right there, and pretty easy call for the officials to make, whether it was incidental or not. DuBois heads to the box. So Tennessee needs to capitalize here. Enormous moment for the Volunteers. Off the face-off, hard shot. That one won't go. Looked like Henry Cohen who fired it. South Carolina player slow to get up, and that was Angelo Cascignano. He is up now. Tennessee, this is Spranklin. We haven't heard much from him. He enters the zone with speed. They're going to need a lot more from him. He's one of the top scorers in the conference. And now Tennessee's going to need everything that Mitchell Spranklin can offer. He is a big-time power play player. Bryce Cooper had a strong day yesterday. Haven't heard much from him today. Had a really strong day yesterday against Georgia. Against Ole Miss. This one fired on from just outside the dot. Connor Frazier, soft shot. Frazier has it again. Drops that one off for Cohen. Top of the arc, fired on. Rebound and the putback. It all starts with the shot at the point from Bryce Cooper. It is 3-2. The rebound in close, put in by Tyler Isles. And boy, did Tennessee need that one. 3-2. That was Tennessee's first trip to the power play. And they made it count. The initial save made by Tomoyan. And no one's able to clear out the puck. Isles scores. Kai Bunsukin with the cross-ice pass. Interception here in the neutral zone. Working in, this is DiStefano. DiStefano working against Bunsukin. Into the corner, puck tied up. South Carolina will get this one up from the half wall, flipped into the neutral zone and then into the Tennessee zone. No icing here. Little hit thrown at the end of that play. And South Carolina forces a turnover. Same spot we saw it the first time, and the Gamecocks respond immediately. Aiden Dunphy able to stuff that one in, and it all starts with a turnover underneath the goal line. And correction, that's going to be Jake Pushkar on the goal, not Dunphy. My apologies. We'll have to see that one more time. It was chaos in front of the crease here, but this is a good long replay. The initial hit, turnover forced. And Pushkar just continues to push that one in. Carson Stickley going to pick up the apple there. His second point of the day. And Pushkar, the captain, scores. High effort play from him. South Carolina entering with speed. Matthew Baxter this time, and puck will get to Green, who will swallow that one. 4-2, South Carolina leads. They've scored 3 goals in 4.5 minutes here. Tennessee, of course, got the one response goal, but this was a 1-1 game when the second period started. But now with a slightly diminished Tennessee team down 2 skaters, South Carolina has gone to work. And with this offensive zone faceoff, Riggins is out right now. And I think they've kept Baxter out there as well, though Riggins couldn't win the faceoff. Dangerous player for South Carolina. This one sent by Pavic, the far side of the ice, but South Carolina won possession, now back off the rush. Opportunity developing and sticked away on the shot by Green. Gamecocks with possession again. Another shot. That one hit the defender in front, went into the corner. Tennessee back the other way. Here's Cooper. His pocket picked by Flaherty. Tennessee quickly takes it back. Shot on, wide of the net. No save opportunity for Tomoyan. Puck tied up along the half wall now. Got 2 Tennessee players, 2 South Carolina players. It squirts free back to Cooper. Bryce Cooper sends this one in deep. Nobody home for Tennessee, and South Carolina is going to be able to exit cleanly with possession. At least for a moment, this one then sent down. I think this is going to be no icing call here. And Flaherty will shovel it away. Puck nearly turned over there, and is turned over in the neutral zone. Working the other way, this is Riggins. Riggins lost it for a moment. South Carolina going to try and shovel this one deep. Can't get the job done there. Enzo Finelli couldn't make the play. This one fired on, and Tomoyan is just going to glove this one. A long shot from Dylan Updike. Got to expect we're going to see more from these volunteer players. And this does give an opportunity for guys like Tommy Carroll to get more playing time with 2 forwards down off the roster. D-to-D passing along the dots. South Carolina dealing with a bit of a crowded neutral zone. Good effort there from Jack Ani of Tennessee to get that one down low. Turnover underneath the red line, and the Volunteers might have something cooking here. Little battle for it, and William Herblert wasn't quite able to win the puck. South Carolina is able to exit, though not cleanly. Carson Scove sent this one back. Gamecocks will try one more time. Puck loose in the neutral zone. This is going to lead to a 2-on-1 opportunity, and they're going to play the pass, and so the shot gets saved. It was a bit of an odd 2-on-1 there. I don't know if we get a chance, let's see a replay of that. I don't think Tennessee played that as cleanly as they would have liked to. You can see this here. Winds up being a shot there. Herblert had kind of slowed down. Isles was playing on the far side, and they wind up taking away the pass, and he shoots it, but didn't look as clean as it could have when it started. So, nonetheless, this shoveled into the Tennessee zone. South Carolina going to try and force a turnover here. Can't get it out. Tennessee does clean. Entering the zone with some speed, here's Spranklin. Spranklin, brilliant pass into the slot. Hit a South Carolina stick, though, before a Tennessee stick. Spranklin then keeps that one in with his glove temporarily, and then finally cleared out. Gamecocks well aware of Mitchell Spranklin and the damage that he can do. Spranklin, number 9, picked up a couple of points yesterday as this one is fired on, and from distance, Green is just going to cover it. But during the regular season, 20 points in 17 games. And they do not necessarily play him in the type of do-it-all role. He is, I would describe him as more of an offensive specialist based on the way they've deployed him in this tournament. South Carolina wins this offensive zone face-off. Back to Riccatelli. Riccatelli spins and fires with the backhand towards the corner. Cooper able to come up with it in the corner for Tennessee. Tied up. South Carolina forces a turnover underneath, working on the forecheck. Puck still loose in the neutral zone, and the Volunteers come up with it. Excellent high-effort play here, though this is offside now, so Tennessee, as the puck squirted through, had to get back on and tag up. That ends that opportunity. Able to hold the zone. Little move through the legs. The backhander, the second shot, the third shot. Green makes a couple of saves. Gamecocks still with it, though. And back out to the point. Nobody was home. You had both defensemen manning each side of the point near the wall, but nobody manning the middle of it. Of course, not a power play. So here's Jake Pushkar. Bounced that one off of the board. And now an opportunity developing, and firing one on from a bad angle was Colin Reed. Boy, he had a little more time. He might have wanted to try and set something up there. Regardless, it is 4-2. South Carolina, as we've reached immediate timeout, and the Gamecocks in control of this one in the second period. Back in a moment on AAU+. South Carolina's Alan Surwa has led this team to the brink of a championship in the Southeastern Conference. They lead 4-2 here in the second period. Welcome in. Alex Wiederspiel with you. on AAU Plus and YouTube. Great to have you for another day of games here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Tie up below the goal line here in our first of 2 games here. ACC Elite Division Championship coming up next. This flipped out of the zone by Tennessee. Volunteers moving from right to left this period. This one sent in deep, and South Carolina to retrieve. Trying to get this one back out. Going to come to Cooper at the point. He decides to reverse ice into the far corner. South Carolina player tied up there. Tennessee able to come up with possession in the corner. Working now at the half wall. That was Frazier who had it for a moment. Volunteers go back out to the point. This is Ani who fires one. Didn't get through. Back go the other way. Back goes Colin Reed the other way. He went down, no call. South Carolina, turnover forced in the neutral zone and lost it right back to Mitchell Spranklin. And again, I think we're going to see a lot more of Spranklin here, as Tomoyan sent that one into the corner for the Gamecocks. Decided he had seen enough of that puck near his crease. Bad clear out. Second effort, much better for South Carolina. And giving chase on this puck is Ani. Long pass up. This will be an icing if South Carolina can win the race, which they do. Cascignano will send this all the way back down. So we'll have an offensive zone faceoff for South Carolina midway through this second period, midway through this game, or at least regulation of this game. Carson Skov going to take the faceoff here. Enzo Finelli to his right. And one back to Cascignano, who sends it to his defense partner. Fired on. That one redirected and was wide of the net. Green didn't wind up having to make a save. That one was awfully close. Back the other way comes Kyle Stober. Again, had the goal earlier that was wiped out on the double ejection, and one player disqualified. So with the DQ, also worth noting that Crossan, wouldn't be able to play, as I understand it, in the next game if Tennessee were actually to advance. Automatic bid for this game up for grabs to the upcoming regionals in Jacksonville at the start of next month. South Carolina, a top 10 ranked team, very likely to get in with an at-large should they lose this game, but right now they are in control, up 4-2. Tennessee entering the zone with some speed. Here's Isles. Isles sent that one into the slot. Stick tie up there. Excellent play by South Carolina as Cohen was bearing down. This one fired on and directed off of a Tennessee player, and now a long stretch pass. South Carolina giving chase. This is Clavin. He's able to get there first, so no icing on a clearly designed play. Excellent tie up there. Clavin is able to break free, gets the puck with his skate, goes down. This sent back up. Gamecocks are able to keep it in the zone. Firing from the blue line, and that is directed out of play. Getting a stick on that one was Henry Cohen. And we'll get a face-off coming here in the South Carolina zone. Or we would, but it appears we've also got a penalty on the play. Well, how about this? Didn't see anything called in the moment, but not happy. That's George Clavin. Curious to see what they're going to get him on. And that would be what they're getting him on. So I think he felt like he was tripped. I can't get into the young man's head, but I suspect he feels like he was tripped, and then a little extracurricular activity. They gave him a holding call there. I think he could have gotten a roughing as well. But nonetheless, Tennessee scored on their last power play, so they're going to get another opportunity here. Can't clear the zone. This is Cooper. That one didn't come out of the zone, apparently. Now the Volunteers trying to set up. A little cross-ice pass won't go. Good defense for South Carolina. Cooper down low from high to low. Working at the half wall now. This is Mitchell Spranklin. Little back pass. Cooper fires. Good block there for Kai Bonsukin. Tennessee still with possession. Puck is loose in the offensive zone as a South Carolina player went down. Puck squirts free, and now it's a foot race. And smart play for South Carolina winning the foot race. Believe that was Pushkar, who won the foot race, then decided instead of trying to go for the net, he peeled back and melted more time off the clock, knowing he probably didn't have a lot left in the tank there. Cross-ice pass intercepted, and now South Carolina might have another chance here. No, that one too far, and Cooper goes back to make the play for Tennessee. Bit of a lazy cross-ice pass for Cooper, but still gets through. That one, another one that goes back to South Carolina. So Tennessee ceding possession a couple of times here, and then South Carolina, a long pass for Carson Scove. He's going to come up with it in the corner, at least temporarily, for South Carolina, and he's pulled down. This is going to be an easy call for Bryce Cooper. So Scove got pulled down awkwardly. Cooper heads to the box, and that ends the Tennessee power play. And whether by design or not, South Carolina repeatedly had men close to that blue line of Tennessee, and they were able a couple of times to melt extra time off. And that ultimately leads to that play there where Cooper appeared to get a piece. And then they got him for holding, which is the correct call there, for sure. 7 minutes to go here in the period. I say that, I'm certainly no expert on officiating, but from my vantage point, looked like a clear hold, and that's what the officials said. Hard shot into the boards, and we're going to get another whistle, and I think a boarding coming against South Carolina, which means this is going to be a 4-on-3. Oh, my goodness. All right, so just like that, Tennessee's back on the power play. And they'll be on the power play for 22 seconds of 4-on-3. And then back to 4-on-4. They're going to get Colin Reed here, and yeah, that's pretty clear. Clear board. And a dangerous play. Jack Ani went into the boards. It's always tough when you're in that spot when it's generally better to be, you'd rather be right on the boards. When you're a foot or two away, it's very dangerous. So Tennessee, there's a lot of space on the ice here. They got 8 seconds to try and get something done. South Carolina clears the puck, and that will do it for the 4-on-3 power play. It is officially over. Aiden Dunphy returns to the ice. George Clavin returns to the ice. He immediately goes off. Aiden Dunphy comes on. And South Carolina, Tennessee skating 4 aside now. Nice little move by Bonsukin. Couldn't get a shot off, though. Now Tennessee back the other way. It'll be 4-on-4 for 57 seconds. Then South Carolina will go on an abbreviated power play. Or correction, Tennessee will go on another abbreviated power play. South Carolina will get no power play out of this at all. Spin move there to get this one out. Up to Bonsukin. Nice little touch pass. They're going to say he got to the line too quickly as Bonsukin and Riggins looked like they were about to lead a 2-on-1. Neutral zone face-off. 37 seconds left here. And now the officials are talking something over here. Working at center ice here, this is Pavic. He gets this one away. Tennessee's able to enter for a moment. Now South Carolina forces a turnover back the other way, working in wide angle. A little bit of a screen there, but the shot was low and wide. Now working below the goal line. Good defensive effort from Tennessee. Back to the half wall. And this puck's going to come clear out of the zone on the Back pass to Scove. As Cooper returns to the ice, an abbreviated power play here for the Volunteers. Cleared all the way down. Vin DiStefano was there. DiStefano then gets turned over. And South Carolina will clear one final time, and that will do it. So a lot of 4-on-4, not a lot of 5-on-4, but a couple of spurts of 5-on-4. And when it's all said and done, Tennessee is no closer to getting back in this game. Going back to make the play is Riccatelli for South Carolina. Turnover forced. Tennessee right in the slot, had a chance, couldn't field it cleanly. Back out across the blue line, and now the Volunteers can regroup in the neutral zone, sending this one deep off the high glass. A round up for South Carolina's Tishon. Haven't seen as much of him with the special teams, but he's back on now. And puck squirts free. This could be trouble. Excellent effort there from Rose. Tyler Rose just saved a potential 2-on-0 or 2-on-1 opportunity for the Volunteers through smooth puck handling. Now here's Cooper. He goes down. No call anywhere. No, there it is. It was a little bit of a late whistle, but we got it. And South Carolina's going back to the box. I assume that Coach Alan Sirois is not going to love this. So Cooper draws the penalty, and it is Aiden Dunphy who heads to the penalty box for a trip. And I think he clipped him with his skate. So Tennessee now gets a fresh 2 minutes, 5-on-4 opportunity. Bit of a shot pass on, doesn't get through, and then the Gamecocks will clear it. Okay, looks like they are counting that as a shot, so I'm going to assume that Tomoyan did have to make some kind of a save there. Looked like, again, described as a shot pass with some speed back out to the point. Tape to tape. This one went off the skate, back to Cohen. Puck is loose. South Carolina is going to be able to clear all the way down, and Green will go back to make the play for the Volunteers. Patrick Green has been hung out to dry a couple of times, but Tennessee has calmed their game a bit. Some of that with all the special teams action as well. But now they've got to find a way to score. They already have one special teams goal. And a turnover here leads to a 2-on-1. Slowly, a little bit of a rough shot. And Green came out to make the save. Didn't have it, and he does it again. Off the rebound, John Riggins. So on that 2-on-1, South Carolina entered, I would almost describe it as gingerly across the blue line, and weren't playing with a lot of speed and didn't look very confident in the pass. Didn't get the shot off cleanly as a result. The second one from Riggins looked more dangerous, but Green read it well and came out to cut off the angle. 4-2, 2:48 remaining here in the period. 1 minute to go on the power play in the SEC Championship game's second period. It was 1-1 after one. It's 4-2 nearing the end of two. South Carolina on top, and they'll get the clear. And first player to that puck, I think, might actually be South Carolina. Once again, playing with Carson Scove. We're going to get a whistle here. I believe this is a Tennessee icing. But Carson Scove has done it a couple of times. I think Pushkar did it earlier, but they're playing with a forward pretty high up in an effort to make it harder to exit the zone and give them more opportunity to chase pucks when they clear it. Obviously, the bit of an aggressive penalty kill, but Gamecocks feeling okay with that when you notice the way they're playing defensively on the penalty kill. And they're going to get another clear here. 33 seconds remaining on this power play. Pavic sent deep. Pavic will now give chase. And he comes up with it. Nice retrieval there from Matt Pavic. Back out to Stober, excuse me. Herblert sent that across. Rose back to Herblert. Cross ice pass. Fired on, didn't go. Redirected, and then South Carolina makes sure there's no actual shot attempt on an empty net. Cross ice pass. Shot blocked Fired on again. Still no shot gets through. A lot of traffic in front for the Gamecocks and flipped out. South Carolina forces a neutral zone turnover, but they have a player offside, so going to have to wait. And then eventually firing that one in was Carson Scove. Little touch pass will not go for Tennessee. South Carolina sends it deep once again. That's to Sean. Deshaun comes back up with it. Deshaun pass into the slot. No shot opportunity there. Was broken up by Tennessee. Going back to make the play is Bonsukin. Firing this one in and around. No play on it for Green. Comes all the way back out to the point. Fish down towards the half wall. And Dylan Updike's going to be able to get this one away briefly. See if Tennessee can create some space or enter with any type of speed. They are not able to do that. And South Carolina clears it and not redirected according to the officials. That is an icing as Tyler Rose goes to touch. 42 seconds remaining in the second period. 4-2, South Carolina leading over Tennessee. And an offensive zone faceoff here for the Volunteers. A chance to maybe cut this lead in half and take some momentum into the locker room in a second period where they allowed 3 goals in the first 5 minutes. Underneath, trying the back pass through to the slot. No one's there. Finn DiStefano came up with the puck, but without an angle for any type of shot. Puck bounces off his stick, and South Carolina flipping this one deep. It is on edge, slowing down, no icing. So Jack Ani gets the puck. 15 seconds remaining. Sending deep there was Spranklin. South Carolina, one last clear with 7 seconds to go, and I'll tell you what, that was not the right choice. Not a lot of pressure there, and on top of it, too much time remaining, and you can see actually, not from that camera angle, you can't see it, but South Carolina player Carson Stickley, who has 2 points in this period, tapped himself on the chest and said, "My bad." .9 seconds. Can Tennessee do anything? They win the faceoff. Cooper fires one on. It didn't get through. Comes out of the zone. South Carolina has been committed to blocking shots here in the second period, and they get the job done. They outscore Tennessee 3-1 in the period, and they limit the Volunteers to just 8 shots in the period, while putting on 13 of their own. South Carolina leads 4-2. 2-point period for Carson Stickley. And we'll step aside, come back with some analysis, interviews, and much more here during the second intermission. Back in a moment on AAU+. back here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at the Fairgrounds Ice Arena, and South Carolina really kind of took it to Tennessee in that second period, and the best volunteer counterattacks came on special teams. South Carolina stood tall, or I should say their best opportunity for counterattacking. Tennessee down 2 players who dressed but were not listed on the roster. That was the big story of the first period and certainly has permeated throughout. These two teams split the season series, but South Carolina has the better of it right now in the rubber match and the all-important auto bid into the next round of the postseason. South Carolina scored 3 goals in about 5 minutes to open that second period, by the way. In fact, all the scoring, all 4 goals were in those first 5 minutes or so. And then it was back and forth, a lot of special teams, but no scoring. And we played quite a bit of 4-on-4 hockey as well. Stanley Bright, who anchored the second line pivot spot yesterday for Tennessee, is out. Kieran Crossan, who was scratched for this tournament, as we understood it, played today. We believe it was Kieran Crossan. And that his face-off win that led to a goal for Tennessee in the first period is what led to all the hullabaloo, as the goal was disallowed, he was disqualified, and then they found another player on the roster who was not correctly listed in the actual roster sheet at the official scorers table. So just a mess in the first period for Tennessee. And they had what looked like a 2-1 lead. Now they trail 4-2. As we are back underway. No, you're good. Tennessee working with the puck, and apologies for a brief technical difficulty there. We got it settled here. I got the best producer in the business. I don't actually know if that's Levi's title, but that's what I'm going with for right now. Crossing into the Tennessee zone is South Carolina, the Gamecocks. Big insurance opportunity here, and they've been so dangerous early in periods, and a big, big save from the netminder, Patrick Green. My goodness, that was point blank. Might have even been too tight. Green didn't leave a lot of space there, but brilliant pass from below the goal line, and so close to that being the 5th goal. Looked like Colin Reed there. You'll have to forgive me. I have struggled with these South Carolina jersey combinations the entire weekend. And of course, here they are in the championship. Tennessee, opportunity down low. That was James Gutz who fired it underneath. A little bit of a hit there. Player getting up slowly. Didn't realize the puck was near him. That was Stober. And we're going to get a whistle here. Not sure for what. Yeah, they're going to get a South Carolina penalty here. We'll have to see that hit again. Upon first look, I didn't notice whether or not it was penalty worthy, but Ben Riccatelli heads to the box. Just a minute and 9 seconds in, and this has been the issue with South Carolina here since taking the 4-2 lead. They continue to take penalties. And yeah, they're probably going to get him for boarding, I imagine. The second boarding call against. Good save there for Tamoyan. It's been strong here. That one didn't get through. Another opportunity, and Tamoyan gloves it. Off the rebound, came back to Isles, who has a goal in this one already. He opened the scoring for the Volunteers, but couldn't best Tamoyan there. Tyler Tamoyan, who played for the Philadelphia Flyers AAA youth team. You'll notice the more you pay attention, these ACHA players, a lot of them played really high-level youth hockey, and many just wanted to continue playing. So the Volunteers now, with 30 seconds gone by on this power play, already have a couple of good chances. This has already looked better than really any of the power plays in the previous period. This one cleared. South Carolina had played with a forward up pretty deep on all of those kills, and they do it again here. And it's been Scove most of the time, and he has been a pest on these penalty kills. Get a chance to talk with Coach Alan Surwa after the game if South Carolina wins. Might ask him about that, because it has been evident on the penalty kill that they have wanted to play with a forward a little bit further up than you'd maybe anticipate, and that aggression has paid off, not in the sense of trying to create and generate chances, but to melt time away. And the Gamecocks can be able to get this one away again. So after a strong first 30 seconds of this power play, the last minute of it for Tennessee, they have really not been able to generate anything. Long pass up to Herblert. He gets this one away. Sent up by Rose. Stolen away and then flipped all the way high in the air, and that will stay. It looked like it was making a beeline for the penalty box. 15 seconds to go on the power play. The minor to Riccatelli for boarding. One last chance for Tennessee here, working through the zone. Puck is tied up below the goal line. And South Carolina is going to go right back on the penalty kill. Kai Bonsukin, let me put it to you this way. That one was blatant enough that I could see it from here. I could have raised my hand. See what they get him for. My guess is that could easily be roughing, but there are probably a few others. And actually, they're going to even it up. They wind up also getting Matt Pavic. So Bonsukin, just kind of hit him from behind. Now, let's rewind that a little bit. I didn't see Pavic's role in that, but I'm assuming Bonsukin was responding, and that's what we'll try to get a look at that at our next stoppage. 4-2 here, and so instead of a penalty kill, this is 4-on-4 hockey for what I believe is now the fourth time in this game. We had two instances of it in the second period on one sequence because of how quickly South Carolina took a penalty immediately after getting onto the 4-on-4. Sounds like they got both of them for roughing. So Bonsukin and Pavic each get 2 minutes for roughing. A lot of open space on the ice now for South Carolina and Tennessee. Both these teams with some solid speed. Gamecocks might have the better of it just slightly. Open shot at a net. Great move. And we've got a whistle coming here. Great move by Green, though. That net looked wide open on the shot attempt for South Carolina, and he was able to move laterally to make that play. Marchese couldn't connect there. So this is it one more time. Pavic and Bonsukin. And yeah, it looks, so far I haven't seen anything super egregious, but yeah, okay, that's the stick tap. It's the stick tap on the calf. I had missed Pavic's part in that. And Bonsukin had enough. Probably could have gotten them for a slash, but either way, fired on 4-on-4 on net. Good save there from Tomoyan and cleared out the other way. Tennessee will reset with Getz. D-to-D pass. Tennessee moving slowly here, though. 30 seconds remaining on the coincidental minor penalties. Getz, great dish into the slot. Comes back out to another Volunteer player wide of the net. It was Kyle Stober who missed that opportunity as the puck is riding the rim right now. DiStefano goes back to get it for Tennessee. Volunteers have got some talented players on their blue line. They're going to need them more than ever as no shot. Pass went through the crease. Puck is loose in the South Carolina zone. Unable to win that one was Finelli for the Gamecocks. South Carolina does win it now up to Finelli. Finelli with a little back pass. Opportunity developing, weaving in and out. Good stick play there to tie up that shot for Tennessee. Looked like the Gamecocks were going to have an opportunity for Lucas Van Mullen. He couldn't get a shot off. Behind the net, this one comes free. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. Alex Wiederspiel with you on AAU Plus and YouTube. South Carolina, Tennessee firing one on from the dot. That's wide of the net. Comes back out. Opportunity shot on. Didn't get through again. Ben Riccatelli, who just finished serving a minor, couldn't get that one through. Not a lot of shots in the early stages here. South Carolina's got the better of it, 25-21. Tennessee had the better of it in the first period, leading 10-8 after one, but where it was particularly notable, or 10-9 after one, I should say, where it was particularly notable after the stoppage for the double ejection and single disqualification, South Carolina outshot Tennessee 7-1 at that point, trying to wrap around and stuff this one in. Tennessee has done a nice job locking down, but down by 2 goals, they're going to have to, at some point, take a few risks here. Riccatelli sends this one up, giving chase for South Carolina, and peeling away was Scove. Volunteers, a little time and space here. And the turnover in the in the corner doesn't wind up leading to an opportunity in the slot, and going back to get that one is Bryce Cooper. Cooper working near the logo. Little dot-to-dot passing, but Cooper and Getz, Cooper and Rose, who are a new pairing today, couldn't really figure out what they wanted to do with it. Ultimately leads to South Carolina back the other way. Quick shot, a nice save there from Green. This one back out. South Carolina is offside. They'll have to tag back up. Long stretch pass intended for Isles. Wasn't able to do anything with it. South Carolina back the other way. Opportunity developing for Seamus Murphy. Murphy didn't play yesterday, did play in the first game of the tournament for South Carolina. This one fired on through traffic, but not on net. Comes back out to the blue line. Another chance for South Carolina. That one doesn't get through. Another shot at a redirection as we have Bonsukin out for South Carolina, shot on and saved there by Green. Trying to stuff that one in, it will not go. Puck goes all the way down on the clear, and this is going to be icing. Trying to see, I think South Carolina might have switched up their pairs a little bit. Bonsukin is with Du Bois at the moment. Flaherty scored a goal earlier in the game. He's the usual defense partner for Bonsukin, has been in this tournament, but it does look like South Carolina has changed things up a little bit. Wonder if this is in an effort to protect this lead. 2 goals, the most dangerous lead in hockey. Bonsukin with it, crossing the red line. Nice job weaving in and out, avoided a couple of hits. And now Bonsukin creating some offensive zone time for the Gamecocks. Around the zone, Tennessee with a chance to flip this one out. Still can't get it out. It is booted on the far side there by Du Bois. A little soccer action. There is a lot of through line between soccer and hockey. You'll often see a lot of guys warm up by playing soccer. Not, a full game, but shooting around. Bonsukin, this is a long shift for them. Puck was loose. South Carolina has it. They're going to switch ice, and we got an offside coming as Carson Stickley, who had 2 points in the prior period, crossed and was off. So we'll step aside. 4-2 here. One opportunity to win it all. Third period continues next here on AAU Plus.
You can go wild on the flip side. unplug and unwind in Jax.
The Surf's Up on the flip side. Wave hello to Jax.
4-2, and the scoring has dried up for a while here. More than a full period without a goal. It was right around the 15:30 mark, right before the 15:30 mark of the second period we had our last goal. It's because we had a flurry of them all at once. South Carolina had just given up a goal to make it 3-2 and responded almost instantly to make it 4-2. Now we have 11:07 to go in the third, and coming off that offside into the media timeout, we're back, and face-off won there by John Riggins. If I get a chance, I've been meaning to ask Coach, maybe we'll talk with Riggins as well, but I got to know if there's any relation or not. Great pass through the slot and then flipped up on the backhand wide of the net. Don't think Green even had to make a save there. What an opportunity, and the Gamecocks had a chance to extend this to what likely would have been an insurmountable 3-goal lead. So it passed up and wasn't looking for the puck, so this one winds up getting deep, but fortunate it wasn't worse than that. South Carolina player was not looking for the pass. It's Matthew Baxter. He's had a strong tournament. That shot saved by Tomoyan. Getting this one away, that's Flaherty. And now here comes South Carolina with some speed and numbers. Turning it over, a bad place to turn it over, and there's a Gamecock down. Tennessee, though, going for a change, so they don't have a lot, and this shot doesn't get through. Looks like Flaherty is out with Marchese, so worth noting, it just seems like they swapped partners. Bonsukin, this one fired over the net against Tomoyan. Bonsukin and Flaherty had been together, but now this one goes towards the blue line. Opportunity developing for Tennessee. Shot on, that's a great save by Tomoyan. I don't even know how he saw that one. Big save there from Green, keeping Tennessee in this game. Now here's Dunphy. He scored one yesterday from a very similar spot on the ice. Couldn't get it to go. Trying to stuff this one in, and Green stands tall. Carson Scove to take the face-off, the native of Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Fine town of Lawrenceville has produced quite a bit of talent, including the great Jon Stewart, who was more of a soccer player than a hockey player and is now more of a comedian than an athlete. Puck tied up in the corner there. Came loose, rough turnover, shot wide on Tomoyan, and South Carolina, good job getting this one out, and then flipped out of the zone. Let's see the call here. Delay of game is called differently at this level of the ACHA. It's called differently at this level of hockey. Typically, they do not call accidental, and I think in this case they are going to say that was indeed accidental. That's a fun conversation in the hockey world, how you feel about delay of game penalties in general. As South Carolina will exit cleanly off of that faceoff. Excellent work here from Finelli. Passed back and then a save off the shot by Green. Going to go back to the blue line here. Opportunity developing for South Carolina. Couldn't get a redirection on cleanly there. One more time for South Carolina. That one kind of fluttering through after the shot by Riccatelli. He's been active today. The net was clear. I think Scove went through the legs there, and a big save from Green. And Green has done everything he can to keep Tennessee in this one. As the shots are starting to pile up, puck goes out of play. He's up to 28 saves. Tennessee has a chance here in the third period, and a lot of it is because Green has not let this get to him. He has shut things down since that fourth goal. Heck of an attempt there, though. We've seen a couple of those this weekend in this tournament. St. Joseph's James Carpenter did it and scored a goal on it, no less. We jokingly referred to it as Instagram hockey for anyone who remembers the criticism of John Tortorella made of Trevor Zegras. This is going to be an icing, and then a late hit after the play. I don't know that that was intentional. I think that was just a high-effort play from the Tennessee player trying to get there to break up the potential icing. Let's see if they actually call anything here. I don't think they've signaled. So this is just going to be an offensive zone faceoff. I think it was Spranklin who has got some wheels. We know that. And Mitchell Spranklin doing anything he can to keep Tennessee in this one. Faceoff coming. Jake Pushkar will take the faceoff for the Gamecocks. Back to Bonsukin. He sends it around underneath the red line. And Tennessee able to come up with this and get this down. However, this will likely be another icing on the play. So South Carolina can go back for the offensive zone faceoff. Tennessee cannot change. Canes are going to stick with Bonsukin and DuBois on the blue line here. Pushkar wins it. Oh, and then an ill-advised pass attempted for Bonsukin, and it's Spranklin. This could be trouble. Spranklin can't get it on net. Second shot fired from distance. Tamoyan made the save. South Carolina gets bailed out. Spranklin put one wide, and Tamoyan saved the other. Man, the Gamecocks have not made a lot of mistakes here since the score became 4-2, but that might be the single biggest one. They have certainly given up. It's funny. You say there are a lot of minor penalties, and you would say those are typically mistakes, but their penalty kill has been so good that it's hard to actually call those mistakes. This one fired on, and Tamoyan makes yet another save. That one from distance, not as dangerous as I think you would want if you're Coach Drew King. And it was Spranklin who got that one as well. So Spranklin, a couple of shots and a couple of shot attempts on that shift, but couldn't get the job done. And Tennessee could really use their most explosive offensive player right now. Good dish up. South Carolina will be able to escape the zone as a result. Canes working, have some room, have some time. Fired on. Green stands tall again. Big save on John Riggins. Riggins is a tremendous player, by the way. You go by the numbers. Leading scorer coming into this tournament. And he wanted to go 5-hole. But just not really any space there. Good work by Green, who again has been excellent since the score became 4-2. Has given Tennessee a chance. South Carolina firing one. This is going to go up and out of play. Riggins, 17 points in 12 games. Now, again, I always remind folks of this. That's 17 points in 12 ACHA games. We don't always have complete statistics on these. There are a myriad of different websites, but we choose on the broadcast to typically stick with the ACHA statistics. Either way, tremendous year for Riggins. And a tremendous save there for Green. Trying to keep his team and their season alive. Battle won by Isles. Excellent effort Good support from South Carolina down low to slow this down for a moment. Puck comes loose in the slot, fired on and scored. Puck came loose in the slot, and I'm pretty sure Jack Ani is going to be the one who winds up picking up the goal. And it has been unlikely players. I think Ani's going to get an assist here. Stober is going to get the goal. We'll double check the replay in a second. Stober went to the bench first. So let's see. This definitely hit a couple of players. It was a great second effort on the forecheck that leads to this in the first place. So it's going to be tough to tell. Ani takes the shot. Stober passed it back to Ani. We know that much. And we might be getting a review here. And that's, in fact, what is happening. So while that's happening here, 5:52 to go in this game, I don't know if Stober then got a piece of it while he was down on the ice off of the Ani shot. But either way, they're each getting a point on that goal, considering Stober is the one who actually set up Ani in the first place. Now, as for what they could be looking at here, they are looking for goalie interference. I don't know about this. Tomoyan did go down, but I thought that it was essentially incidental. And this looks like it's going to be a pretty quick review here. Hold on. Took the headset off, but if we get a chance to see it, we'll certainly show you guys. But Tomoyan did go down. I will say with the naked eye, my thought was that it was not goalie interference. But the challenge with that is that's why replay exists in the first place. Because I was focused on multiple other things. And big goal there from Tennessee to cut the lead in half from 2-1. The deficit in half, I should say. And that is a good goal. We'll get another look at that in just a second. An emphatic Wes Macaulay-esque point to center ice for the faceoff. So it is 4-3. And Tennessee going to get a goal here. I'd be curious to see who they award it to. All right, they are giving this to Stober. Yeah, I think that's generally pretty good. That's a very good screen. And it does depend on the level of play. Now, for folks who've been watching the Olympics and the IAHF, as this one is fired on, a player in the crease is governed much more strictly. North American hockey, though, there is, let's say, more liberality about what is acceptable and tolerated in that spot on the ice. So offensive zone faceoff coming here. And now South Carolina's got some work to do to ensure this one does not get away from them. Tennessee's got some work to do to build off of that. They have gotten what they needed from their goaltender in the last little bit. And now an opportunity, down 2 men who both went to the locker room in the first period, ejected from the game over an incorrect lineup card. No icing here. What can the Volunteers do? Puck pinballing around. South Carolina had played it pretty conservatively at times here in this third. Let's see if they open things back up a little bit and try to go on the attack at all. We are late in this one, down at the 5-minute mark. Working from about the half wall. Puck flipped back towards the corner. Nice effort there for South Carolina. Little D-to-D pass. Dunphy. Tennessee player went down and the puck squirted free just past Dunphy. Dunphy is now out with Flaherty. Wonder if that is by design, as they'll send out Riccatelli and Bonsukin. Along the half wall, this chipped out of the zone, back to Bryce Cooper. Cooper for Tennessee sends this one through the ice, through center ice, excuse me. But not anywhere cleanly. Puck squirts free into the offensive zone for South Carolina. A little pressure applied there by Jake Pushkar. Pushkar had a big goal earlier in this one. Captain of this South Carolina team has every intention of getting his Gamecocks to the next round of postseason action. 3:45 remaining here in regulation. Do we have an equalizer on the stick of somebody for Tennessee? As this one is sticked with the backhand in by Stickley, who had a big second period for South Carolina. Von Suken tracking back to make that play. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Second effort by South Carolina does. Tennessee sending deep. Tracking back is Von Suken. His pass goes beyond Spranklin. And then a long flip in. South Carolina giving chase. Thought about pinching at the zone, and instead Tennessee's going to exit with some speed here. Opportunity in the slot. First shot was blocked. There's been no second shot. Tennessee still has possession. Firing one on, another blocked shot. And I believe it was Angelo Cascignano who got the first block, and that made all the difference for South Carolina. Tennessee, on what looked like an ill-advised pinch by Cascignano, gets the play there, then a shot from in the slot goes wide. South Carolina still rolling with it, though, on this possession. Ooh, another shot, that one into a player for Tennessee, and it redirected all the way out of the zone. South Carolina sends deep again, but Tennessee now down to the final 2.5 minutes with possession. Got to start thinking they're going to pull Green here. Giving chase for that one was Van Mullen for South Carolina. He couldn't get to it. Back around the other side of the boards to the half wall, Tennessee. Firing one on, and Tomoyan sticked it out of play. I think that was Stober again. They credited Stober with that goal. Again, I'm not 100% sure it was his, but they credited Stober with that goal, and one more for him would give him a hattie. In the defensive zone, South Carolina not able to get this clear yet. Green is getting ready to leave his crease. No clear there. Excellent play from Tyler Isles. Lost the puck. South Carolina, can they get out? Yes, and with some space. Here come the Gamecocks. Firing one on. Green a little bit out of his net, but makes the play. And with 1:40 left now, this will be an offensive zone faceoff. And I'll tell you what, I am a little surprised Tennessee didn't pull Green when they had established possession in the offensive zone. Now they've got to transition up ice again. Face-off won by Tennessee. Bryce Cooper sent that across ice. Here come the Volunteers. They don't have numbers. This one sticked and flipped up as Henry Cohen was entering the zone with a little bit of speed. So we'll get a face-off coming here, and now Green is at the bench. Empty net. 1-goal game. 91 seconds in regulation. Face-off won by South Carolina in their own zone. Net is empty. This one played off the glass, sent up, and Bryce Cooper's the first one there. Cooper turned it over, and Green is back in net. All right, well, I didn't see Green come back into net because I will tell you he was out of net. But nonetheless, shot on, fired, and he gloves one. We saw this yesterday in the St. John's game where St. John's just simply would not allow Elon the time needed to get their goalie to the bench. And we're seeing it again here. I thought they had sent Green to the bench, but I think what they wound up doing was Green went to the bench and then was told to come back. So Tennessee sends this one out, long stretch pass. All the way down, no icing, played at the dot. Green is still in his net. And puck got through the skates of Cooper. He's under a little bit of duress now. Tennessee has got to exit clearly if they want to get this goalie out. And he is going. Green is now going. This was deflected, so no icing. Pinch in, puck comes out of the zone. Cooper back to play it. 37 seconds to go. Great pass up ice through the neutral zone. Tennessee's going to be able to establish some possession here with the 6-on-5. Giving chase, puck is loose below the red line. Into the slot and back out. This will be an icing as it hit the post. And actually the post waves off. No. Wow, okay. I thought the post would wave off the icing. That is an icing. And I think Alan Serwa wants an explanation as well. 15 seconds to go. That was awfully close to being like a 150-footer. Or whatever the full length of this particular, I don't think this is a 200-foot rink, but whatever the full length of this ice is. Spranklin's going to take the face-off. 6-on-5 for Tennessee at the right dot. This is a must-win here with 15 seconds to go. Into the corner, trying to melt as much time as possible. That was Riccatelli. Came loose from the high slot. Shot on that, whizzed right by the net. Puck is still loose. 3 seconds. Can they get one more shot off? There was a shot block, and it comes out of the zone, and South Carolina has won the SEC championship. 4-3, your final. Plenty of adversity in this one. But the Gamecocks do it. South Carolina wins the rubber match. They win the championship, and they are moving on to the next stage of the postseason. Tennessee faces an uncertain next stage, though their path in would be difficult if there is one. Tomoyan stops 23 of 26, and none bigger than at the end of the game there, and a couple of key shot blocks for the Gamecocks. What a sequence in that final 15 seconds. Can't say enough about the performance of Patrick Green, the junior goaltender for Tennessee. Had a pretty rough stretch where he was left out to dry a little bit by the Volunteers during the second period. And he stood tall the remainder of the game and gave the Volunteers a chance to get back into it. But the comeback will fall short. A 4-3 win for South Carolina, and so much of it is going to be remembered through the lens of the fact that Tennessee lost two skaters in the first period. One by DQ, the other just a plain ejection. The DQ, of course, because of the goal that occurred. Tommy Carroll opened the scoring for Tennessee, and it looked like the Volunteers were on their way to a 2-1 lead. Kieran Crossan won a faceoff, and boy, did things change after that faceoff win. So South Carolina able to get the job done. The final 15 seconds of this one, Tennessee was able to get one really good opportunity here. Through the slot, there's the shot, and it whizzed past the netminder. He might have gotten a piece of it. And then the big shot block there on the dot, that did the job, and South Carolina wins it. Looks like Jake Pushkar is going to be honored here. Congratulations to him. So tournament MVP is captain for South Carolina. Jake Pushkar scored a goal early in this one. Whole team mobs them. It's like the captain's going to do a lap, but they might do it as a team. Victorious Alan Surwa and his Gamecocks have won the SEC. Even coming in as a 4 seed, because South Carolina did not play many games in conference this season. Everyone knew how dangerous they were. Blew out Alabama in the first game, a 5-0 win. Tomoyan was tremendous in that one. And up 4-0 on Georgia through 2 periods. Georgia made them sweat in the third. Ultimately a 5-3 win after 3 consecutive goals from the Bulldogs. Made it 4-3. And then in this one, the stoppage in the first period. And ultimately, South Carolina with a streak of 3 goals in about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes in the second period, wound up being enough for them in this game. Congratulations to the South Carolina Gamecocks, SEC Cup champions. This is one they'll celebrate for a long time, but won't have a long time to stew on it because there is much more hockey to play. But anytime you can win a conference championship, it's an enormous honor. We'll step aside. 4-3 win for South Carolina over Tennessee. Come back with more post-game coverage, analysis, interviews, and don't forget, we still have a second game here on this ice at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Ice Arena as the ACC Elite Division will match up St. Joseph's and Virginia. That's coming up next. We'll step aside here on AAU Plus. And we're back here with Jake Pushkar, the captain of the victorious South Carolina Gamecocks. You guys have had a great season, worked really hard, I know, to get to this point. Obviously, a little bit of adversity during this game. Just take me through what it was like from your perspective. Huge break in the first period where you guys weren't able to play as they were sorting out some stuff with regards to the officiating. And then you guys have to get back into it. You take a pretty decent lead. Tennessee continues to battle back. Felt like a game where you guys had to be mentally strong.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Usually, we don't play in games with challenges and crazy stuff like that, roster management, whatever. But that's just all part of our team, being mentally strong and just fighting through anything that's happening in the moment.
That's very impressive work. I see very mentally strong under the current conditions as well. Who is currently poking you with a stick?
We got number 11, Carson Stickley, and number 12, Lucas Van Molen.
Who both had really good games today. I know Stickley scored at 2 points in that second period. You want to take me through that stretch? You guys scored 3 goals in about 4 minutes. When you came out from the first intermission, what was the message that led to you guys playing like that right off the bat?
Yeah, basically we got that bounce, the goal called back, power play in our favor. Usually we don't get those types of bounces, but we got that bounce, and the message was now we got to take advantage of it. And that little stretch we had there to start the second was, that's what this team can be when we play full 60 minutes. We can play like that. We could beat anyone.
Right now, if the roles were flipped, would you be putting a stick in their faces if they were interviewing?
I'd be doing worse than what they're doing. This is nothing.
Okay, very good. Hey, Jake, congratulations on the tournament MVP. Congratulations on the victory. South Carolina, big win, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is Jake Pushkar, Summit, New Jersey's finest. And New Jersey always producing some excellent hockey players. We're going to talk with Alan Serwa here in just a moment, Victoria's head coach for South Carolina. And I believe we have him on. We will, at least in just a second. I don't know if he can hear me yet. And Coach Serwa is with us. Coach, that was as strange a game as I think we've had here at the tournament in some respects. Obviously you talked a little bit during the first intermission about that long break, but it seems like coming out of the locker room, you guys had some real serious fire to start the second period.
Yeah, I'm telling you, after the first, I think they might have been a little tired. That was their third game, and I think they got a little bit mad. And a lot of seniors spoke up and said, guys, this is my last year, and we never won the SEC as an organization, so this was great.
It looked like you were tinkering a little bit with your defensive pairings at times in this game. Was that matchup based or was that situational based?
I think there was a little bit of also being our third game. I saw a couple of guys that were a little more not as rested as the others, so we kind of hold off on them a little bit. So we played with the guys that were looking good and feeling good, just played them more.
Very good. So now what's next in terms of the rest recovery aspect? I know you guys are going to have more hockey to play with regionals coming up. How do you prepare for that moving forward?
At this point of the year, they know what they need to do to win. So all it is, we'll just have probably one easy skate this week, and then we leave on Friday, playing Saturday, and hopefully we win Saturday and play Sunday. Hopefully we win there, and then we go to St. Louis.
Very good. Much appreciated, Coach. Congratulations again, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
That is Alan Serwa, the head coach of South Carolina, and we are going to step aside for our first broadcast. The Gamecocks taking down the Volunteers 4-3, the final in this one. A flurry of 3 goals in about 4.5 minutes in the opening stretch of the second period. Ultimately, the difference in this one for South Carolina in a game that was not without controversy. 2 players for Tennessee, 1 DQ'd, 1 ejected, a plain ejection different than a DQ. Not that is relevant now, essentially all academic since they lost. The DQ would have meant the player could not have played in an additional game had there been another one. But that said, that will do it for us for now. South Carolina wins 4-3. We'll step aside. Coming up after our next break, we're going to get set for St. Joseph's and Virginia, the ACC-HL Elite Playoffs Championship game right here in Winston-Salem. We're back in a little bit.